All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we are going over our gaming predictions for 2025. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 462 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Oh my fucking God, I did it. God damn it. You know what? It's perfect timing for what the fuck's happening today. So,
oh, sure.
As we publish. So, Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky. God damn it. And over there is Anthony the Dev at Summer Speak. Man, the week after you mentioned that.
Yep. Forever now. Forever.
Jesus Christ. We are on Blue Sky. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I have a 3-day weekend, so that's fun.
Yeah. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Went to the parade in San Diego today, and that was fun.
That's cool.
Marched in it and all that stuff.
There was not a parade where I live. So,
no,
I mean,
not on your
I guess
little
there's
island.
a parade in Seattle, but I'm not going to Seattle just for that.
Yep.
So, yeah, no. A little island doesn't do a whole lot. I think there's actually, no, my son's going to be performing in a little band and choir thing tomorrow at the local arts center.
Very cool.
That's an MLK celebration thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. But other than that, I live in a very rural place. It's kind of a little chill on that front.
So this week we've got 2 episodes, actually. Anthony doesn't know about the second one. This one is publishing on Monday, and it's our prediction podcast. And then I met someone cool on Blue Sky over the past couple months, and we're doing a little podcast tomorrow morning, Monday morning, that I'm going to publish on Wednesday. So tune in on Wednesday for another episode. You get 2 Prof and Dev Play Games podcasts this week, a little bit of counter programming. Something else to listen to instead of other stuff. So, yeah. So before we dig into our predictions for 2025, Anthony, I would like to read to you the predictions from 2024. I'm only going to read the ones that we got right. And I will remind you that the winner, basically, the loser has to buy the winner a beer, is what our bet was last time. Okay. We can choose a different bet this time, but that's what it was last time. And I will say that the Switch 2 not coming out really fucked us.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Because, man, there were some predictions that we got right. Seemingly, or at least would have gotten right, but it's outside of the calendar year. So for you, your predictions that you got right were VR stagnates. So there'll still be stuff coming out, but the VR, it'll prove itself to be not something that is, broadly consumer supported.
Yeah.
That's proven true. One thing that you said that I thought was true, but I'll ask your opinion. You said the number of new handheld PCs will increase. All the big players will get in. I can't remember the timeline, but we certainly have a ton of handheld PCs now. And I think they were, after January last year.
If you wanted to get a half point, I would say that. I think big player-wise, I was like, we will see Microsoft actually get in the ring. They've only rumored to get in the ring at this point, or talk. They kind of confirmed that they're like, we're going to do it, but we don't know any information on when or how.
Yeah, on the podcast last year, I listened to it tonight. You said specifically Microsoft will not. So you're talking about the other ones.
And Sony didn't.
Right, exactly.
Well, they kind of did. They did the Portal.
They did the Portal. That's true, actually.
Which is a weird thing. It's not a handheld PC, but it's a handheld thing. I don't know.
But that wasn't last year. That was 2023.
Was it 2023?
It was, because I had one ordered and then I canceled it to get the Steam Deck, which I got in fall 23.
There you go. That's better.
So maybe we'll give you half point or no points.
Yeah, half point at most.
Okay. Let me tell you, bud. I could delete this completely and give you 0 points, and you're still going to win.
Okay.
Your next one was the games as a service model is going to get hit hard this year, and the mood is going to shift. You specifically said that many new games as a services are going to fail. I think there were 2 notable exceptions, but for the most part, you fucking nailed that one. I think only Helldivers and Marvel Rivals. But no, you absolutely nailed it. The mood totally shifted. Another thing you said was a lot more games are going to be licensed for movies. And I feel like in 2024, we heard about more games being licensed for movies. Do you feel that way too?
Oh man, I wasn't. What came out?
Well, Sonic 3 came out. Borderlands came out.
Oh, movies from games. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yep.
We're hearing a lot more. Like, that's picking up steam quite a bit.
Another one, and the last one that you got right was layoffs will continue to accelerate, and they will specifically hit Microsoft games. After the acquisition, redundancies will come into play. We saw that absolutely at the beginning of the year.
I do not like being right about that.
No, it was our predictions. Our predictions last year were pretty depressing. I have a couple depressing ones this year, unfortunately. But those are the ones you got right. So if I take out the handheld games, you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 points.
Okay.
On my side, I said the PS5 Pro will be announced and released in 2024. You disagreed with me. So I feel like I should get 10 points because I got it right.
You did get it right.
I got 1 point there, and then that's it. My other predictions were not right because most of them are based around the Switch 2, unfortunately. One of them was the Switch 2 will launch with Mario Kart 9, and I wish I could reach back to that moment and change the draft this year from the unannounced Mario platformer to unannounced Mario Kart, because fuck, as soon as that video came out, I was like, boy, got a couple choices here. I can go big because I think Anthony's going to go big in bidding for this, or I can just let it go and let him burn part of his budget. And I went with the latter. I went with the latter. So I don't have Mario Kart. Oh, it hurts me.
Yeah, I mean, I did go big. I was like, okay, I figured you would go for it. Because why wouldn't you want the new Mario Kart?
I bid a total of $6, I think.
Yeah, and I bid
21
on that, and 23 in total because I picked up 2 more.
Yeah.
Other things that seems
Blueprints
fine.
And HD 2D Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
Is it wrong that I've played Blueprints? And I'm like, this game's good.
No, they had the demo out. I'm like, why not?
Oh, is this a demo? Yeah.
It was a demo. You didn't play early access. It was a demo you played.
Yeah, no, I played the full game.
You played the full fucking game. That's right. Oh, you know what?
For IGF voting.
That's right. I forgot. I thought it was the fucking demo. You played the whole game. I will say that when Kind of Funny does it, they're like, if you've previewed a game or you're doing the review of the game, like, you can't. But maybe I think we should. I think it's fine.
I mean, I don't know how honestly, I really enjoy it. I don't know how it's going to review. I'm going to be honest. It's cool. It's a really neat and unique game. But I could see that just because it's mechanically neat and everything doesn't necessarily mean it's going to like resonate across the with reviewers. And honestly, this is one I'm like, will enough people review this game?
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, and it came down to into play with the Mario Kart 9 decision. I really want this year to be competitive, so I think that's okay. I'm not worried about that giving you some sort of advantage because you need some advantages. I'm looking forward to it this year, though. But yeah, I got beat out for Mario Kart 9, but you also burned through a fifth of your budget, so
yeah. Mario Kart's worth it. I mean, I bet there'll be a lot of games being announced in a month. I mean, this can lead right into that. Switch 2 was announced. We saw a teaser for a new Mario Kart in that announcement. There's nothing particularly new in the announcement. It's everything we've been rumored to see. Bigger Joy-Cons. It has a C-stick button or something on unlabeled button.
Extra button on the right side,
Yeah, on the right side. Kind of confirms that the Joy-Cons can be used as mice in some ways. They can, at least a little bit. Like, I would assume so because that's rumored. There's nothing in the video that specifically points to like, hey, this is acting as a mouse. They just have them skating around in a form that they could be.
And I feel like they kind of looked like actual mice, like an animal, like the little tail and whatever else. So I think they're playing a little bit with that.
Magnetically connected now, not the slide on. I did see a video that showed how they disconnected. There's a little button that pops them off.
Is it the extra trigger on the back of the Joy-Con?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a big-ass button for that.
Yeah, it's on the kind of the inside of the triggers and everything. And there's you can and it like basically pushes some forces them out.
I was hoping that was an extra trigger button, but I guess not.
Nope. No. Kind of as an extra trigger. It's just not going to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, exactly. My Switch broke. It's in 3 pieces now.
Yeah. Honestly, like, the big thing was like, okay, was the new Mario Kart reveal happening there?
Yeah.
And that, hey, April 2nd, we'll actually tell you more about this thing.
That is so far away, man.
It is. I'm like, oh, Nintendo. Okay.
That's painful.
I think this is just really getting out ahead of it. Just like, yeah, the leaks are fine. This is happening. Everyone knows it's happening.
Well, and a different take I saw on it, certainly that, but also maybe it was Schreier, or I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Schreier, who said the lead is so big because now third parties can say, and our game is coming to Switch too. Like, it gives them 3 months to be able to say that now. So helping their partners market. Yep. Which is pretty cool.
Nothing to say on that front.
It's like Gary Whitta when he was asked, so are you working on the Helldivers movie? No comment.
Yep.
It's all good, all fun. So I'm sure we have some Switch 2 predictions. I have fewer this time just because my awesome prediction of Switch 2 launching with Mario Kart 9 I cannot use now, even though technically they didn't say it, but it's just so obvious that.
Yeah.
I have 10 predictions just like last year. I don't know how many you have.
10. I can do 10.
Sounds good. Last time we bet a beer. In the past, we've also bet a game. I'm not sure what you're interested in doing. Bet anything you want.
Let's say a $20 game at most.
Perfect. Sounds good. $20 game. This is great because I have a limited gaming budget this year, so I'm going to get one from you. Actually, I won't get it from you till next year. Shit.
Exactly.
Actually, my predictions are usually pretty shit, so we'll see. Why don't you start us off? What do you got? We'll go back and forth, 1-1.
I mean, how do I want to... how specific do I want to be on this? Because I don't want to just be as general. I can say Microsoft is going to put out a game that is very clearly has generative AI used throughout.
Oh, fucking gross, but you're so right.
And it's going to be Microsoft because they've invested so heavily into AI.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've already just shoved it into Microsoft Word in the latest update.
Oh, Jesus.
Copilot is now standard.
Everyone loved Clippy. Here's a much more advanced and annoying Clippy.
Gross.
But it's going to be Microsoft. They're going to put something out this year that is very clearly made by it and even promoted, saying like, yeah, we use generative AI on this, or it's a generative AI based game.
Yeah. But they'll be upfront about it. Yeah.
That's where we're at. It's going to happen.
Dude, I mean, the next 4 years is the time to do your fucking awful gross shit. So
just try it. Got to make the money somehow.
Speaking of gross shit, my first one in what will be a pattern for many of these, or at least a few of these this year, my predictions. Epic Games will capitulate to Trump in a major and obvious way because of its investor profile. If you need that to be more specific, I can get more specific. But does that make sense?
Is it because of Tencent?
Yeah, it's basically because of who owns the majority or a bit of Epic Games, that there's going to have to be some sort of capitulation to the U.S. government.
I mean, if that's the case, there's going to be a lot of other companies that have to as well.
I agree.
That are far more owned by Tencent.
Yeah.
That are U.S. companies.
Yeah, I agree.
Fully owned companies, actually.
Like
Riot.
Yes, Riot, for example. I'm going to stick with Epic Games on this one. Because I think that one is, because they don't own all of it, it makes it a little less likely. I'm trying to get ones that are not like so obvious as to happen. So
yeah. Oh.
But there will be some sort of, statement by Tim Sweeney or whatever about, as much as you can fillet Trump in a fucking press release, something like that. So
seems about right. With how things are going.
All right, back to you.
So this is kind of built on one that was right last year, but there are going to still be more live service games, and they're going to fail. Like, even though there was the failures last year, I don't think people have learned their lesson.
Oh, man.
I think there's still a bunch coming that are going to... Either it's a sunk cost fallacy, feeling like they just have to put this out. Ours are, or the belief that, like, well, our game, those are bad games. Our game is good.
Look, Marvel Rivals was successful.
I mean, that's the thing. They can be successful. And as long as even a couple are successful, studios and publishers will chase this.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they can land it, it's money forever. But the chance of actually landing it is so low. But basically, no one's going to learn a thing about this damn shit.
Even with Sony canceling too from some big studios?
Yeah, I think Sony's out. I don't think...
Oh, yeah.
EA, Microsoft, Ubisoft, like... They're not out.
But Sony's still got Fair Games. Sony's still got fucking Marathon.
That's true. They do have Marathon. Yeah. I think Marathon actually might be successful.
Yeah.
I think of all the live service ones, I don't even know. Actually, I won't even put any predictions around Marathon because I don't even know if it's coming out next year.
No, I don't think it is, to be honest.
But I think that in a weird way, Bungie as a company has shown that when they're back against the wall, and they really is with Marathon, like that needs to be like a do or die kind of thing. They tend to put out really good stuff.
Yeah.
The what was it, the Final Light or whatnot update, which was
Last Light.
Last Light was received very well for Destiny 2.
No, I'm sorry. The Final Shape.
Yeah, like it just feels like as a company they actually kind of produce their best stuff when a little under pressure there. But generally, I don't think anyone's learned the lesson. I think we're going to have a number of more pushes in this direction, and we're going to get more live service. We're not done yet.
Man. I can see that for sure. My number 2 is a word you'll hear a couple times tonight. Silksong is a Switch 2 launch title, and I want to make this more specific. Ooh. And it will be revealed that is the reason why we haven't seen it yet. That they were either banking on being a Switch 2 launch title, or like they had agreed to be a Switch 2 launch title or whatever. But because it's a Switch 2 launch title, that's the reason why we didn't see it before whenever it launches. And that will be publicly said by Team Cherry in some way.
I can see that happening. I can see that. Because it's the time to launch it, I'll be honest.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, that will sell like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because, there's not that many games when a console launches, so it's like, you'll pick up whatever's there. I picked up Snipper Clips. I also thought it was fucking great. But I grabbed it. All right, that's that one.
Next one, I'll get specific, I think. Valve will announce a new Half-Life game in 2025.
Do you think it'll be 3?
I don't want to put a number to it. Because I actually don't know. I think they've broken the number vein
with,
at the moment after they did Alex. And so Half-Life something will come out. This is not part of prediction. It could be something that goes along lines when SteamOS gets into a broader market. Mm-hmm. Because they always tend to do a Portal or a Half-Life around like new initiatives like that. Could be a new Steam Deck, I'll be honest.
But I almost put that on my list, and I thought, I'm not sure with the Switch coming out if that's the year to do it, but maybe, I don't know if they even see themselves as a competitor, really, but maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I sort of think the Steam Deck and the Switch are competitors, so. Okay, my next one. Try to make this one's going to hurt me. This one I hope is wrong. I went back and forth between adding not to the following sentence, and I ultimately landed on putting not. This year, we hear what Ember Labs' next game is, and it is not a sequel to Kena Bridge of Spirits.
That's possible.
I think that, it's been a while. Kena came out in 2021, I believe. And it's been a while. I think this is the year where we hear what they're working on. They were an animation group who did like Zelda stuff beforehand. And I think based on the reaction to Kena was okay, that I think they could decide to leap into something else or decide to continue. And, Kina 2 is going to fucking blow the doors off the place. I hope that's the case, but I'm predicting that it's not. I'm predicting we hear something else from them this year. And that would be great.
It's about time.
I
would say.
Yeah.
Next big prediction is Disney's going to purchase a big game publisher.
Oh,
they're going to buy. I mean, they're not going to buy Microsoft, but EA.
By Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Oh, EA. Maybe that's the right one.
They wanted. There's been a lot of rumors that Andrew Wilson was kind of vetted for
Disney.
For Disney, I'm like, well, they could just buy EA. I think Disney's going. They've done acquisitions in like every other place. And they want to bring a lot of they've clearly are bringing everything in house in a lot of ways. And I'm like, they've decimated their game studios before, and now they need to rebuild. So the quickest way to rebuild will just be to buy one of these big publishers, but not the biggest, because the biggest aren't on the market really.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's EA or Ubisoft will become part of Disney.
Yeah, I couldn't. EA makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Ubisoft is on the block. But I'm not sure how enticing that is.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, next one. This one makes me fucking gag. I just hope it's not true. It's a weird one. Elon Musk will be considered as a participant in the 2025 TGAs. It will seem likely that he will participate for at least 4 consecutive weeks, and ultimately he will not participate. So that means either like Keely's like, hey, let's have this guy here, or more likely Elon's like, I want to be there. I'm a big gamer. I'm really amazing at gaming. I'm bringing out Grimes to tell people how good I am at Diablo 4. I don't know if you fucking saw that.
Did Grimes actually say anything?
Yes.
I didn't see Grimes said anything.
Fucking just terrible. It's a terrible fucking tweet. I personally watched Elon do this thing and beat this person, and he's really good at Diablo 4. So unless I got had, and that's not a real thing, but it was a tweet that was shared. But anyway, I think that he'll be considered, either him lobbying for it or whatever, because he's embarrassed about the whole gamer thing that's going on right now. But ultimately it won't happen. But there'll be 4 consecutive weeks where people are like, shit, this guy's going to fucking be there. So that's the last of my gross, depressing ones.
Gross, depressing ones?
Yeah, that's the last of that one.
Bethesda is going to reveal an Elder Scrolls, but it's not going to be 6.
Didn't they already reveal 6, though?
A long time ago, they had a title card.
Yeah.
Like, a long time ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-COVID. I think we're going on like 7 years now.
Jesus Christ.
But I don't think it's 6. I can be specific. I think they'll do an Oblivion remaster. It's been rumored, circling for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. Those rumors are heating up too.
They're kind of, but they've heated up before and kind of fell up. But maybe this is the Microsoft push on that front of being like, just put something out, please. Well,
the rumor is that they passed it off to the Singapore studio. I think it's Singapore, and I cannot remember. Not Vicarious Visions. But there was like a LinkedIn post where it had mentioned it. So it seems almost like it's going to be part of the developer direct next week. Like that close to being announced kind of thing. But I can't remember the name of the fucking studio.
All right.
I'll try to get it for the end of the podcast. It's like But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's very likely to come out before 6. Might as well get that IP out there.
Yeah, they got to do something with it.
Yeah. All right, tell me if this one's too general. My next one is Nintendo Switch 2 is significantly easier to get at launch than the PS5 was. Is that too easy, too vague?
I think the thing is, specify what easy is.
Okay, so
like you got to get a little bit like.
Here's what I think. I think that if you want okay, here it is. You and I can both walk into a Target and find one.
Okay, we can hold that. That is clear. There we go.
I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. I think it'll be easier to get. I think they've held it for a long time. They've been making a bunch of stock. I think they want to sell it easily. So both walk into Target and find one.
All right.
All right, off to you.
GTA 6 will launch at higher than $70.
Gee, fucking fuck. Oh man, they're fucking playing around with that right now, aren't they?
They are.
They're like
But
dropping.
I don't know if 100. That people talk about the 100. I'm like,
yeah,
but
the $100.
I think if they can squeeze out more than 70, they're gonna do it.
I mean, this is the game to fucking try it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately quite likely. Okay. This
Don't
is
blame it on tariffs. I don't know.
Oh God. Yeah. The tariffs are making our digital downloads more expensive.
This isn't a prediction there, but I do predict a lot of companies will be like, these are tariffs, they're more expensive. And
even
not
if there
all
were
companies
no
will.
tariffs.
Yeah, for them.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, just like with inflation. Inflation has made everything so expensive. Like, so you raise the price of your stuff 100%?
Yeah.
Just an excuse for rich people to get richer. That's all our world is. That's all our country is anymore. It's just fucking lame and shitty. But yeah, I agree with you. Okay, here's a weird one. Assassin's Creed Shadows will earn the highest Metacritic score of any mainline Assassin's Creed title. And the highest one was Brotherhood or 2? It was 91 was the highest Metacritic that they've gotten.
Oh.
So that means that Assassin's Creed Shadow will get a Metacritic of 92 or higher. And I think that's the bravest prediction I've made because, God, it could be a 70, you know? And I'm not just saying that because I drafted Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I want to know what the Man, yeah, because what did Valhalla get? 80? Odyssey was good, wasn't it?
Odyssey was like 87, 88.
Oh, on Metacritic, it's 83. Holy cow.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Wow. Okay. Now you've just got me curious. The movie got 36.
The movie got 36?
Yeah.
Man, I took my father-in-law to see that fucking thing. Oh, man.
Assassin's Creed 2 was 90. Black Flag was 88. Origins was 81. Brotherhood was 89.
Which one was 91?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
I looked it up right before I got on the podcast. Let's see here.
The highest I see on Metacritic is Assassin's Creed 2 was at 90.
Interesting, because the one I saw said that one was 91. So it was on the Game Rant. I'll scroll down. So I guess I should.
From what year?
Yeah, it says Assassin's Creed 2 Metacritic is 91. The Assassin's Creed 2 that came out in 2009, or when is the article?
The article.
Updated January 16th, 2024.
Okay, maybe in the year it's come down 1 point.
So it's come down to 90?
Well, yeah, it's 90 here.
That's so then
the latest right now, so it needs to be 91 or higher.
91 or higher. Yep, 91 or higher for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Which, God, the wins are against them, but we'll see. All right, your turn.
What if I do this is a negative prediction on this coming out. Valve will not release new VR hardware this year.
That seems so likely.
I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to.
Why would they? That seems
because it's Valve and people still scream at them for an update to. When did the Index come out?
God, a couple of years ago, it seemed.
Or the Index. Is it Index? There's been rumors on an Index too. I just don't think it's happening. I think they are. The Valve Index was 2019.
Whoa, seriously?
It was announced. It released on June 28th of 2019 was the Valve Index.
Wow.
And they haven't done one since. And I've seen rumors saying like, oh, Valve's going to do more. And I'm saying no, they won't. They're not. They have quietly pushed that off to the side. Because they're excited. The people there on the hardware side are excited about Steam Decks.
Oh yeah, dude. And that's what a great piece of hardware. Man, looking at Metacritic really quickly, back to the last one. It is a fucking travesty. Whoever is listening who has anything to do with this, that Assassin's Creed Syndicate is a 76. Did you motherfuckers actually play this game? This game is great. God damn it. Anyway. Okay, so Valve will not release VR hardware. That seems pretty likely. My next one dovetails on the last one. Once that happens and Assassin's Creed Shadows is like, woo, we're doing pretty good, Ubisoft will almost immediately announce a sale, either of some of its assets or the entire company. Once they pump the stock a little bit with, we actually had a good game.
Yeah, they kind of need to do it if they're going to try to sell. I mean, it also works if it's not great, then they also sell because they're selling either way. They are selling either way. I want to make it sell on the good side.
Yeah, I just want to make it a little more specific that they will announce sale soon after Assassin's Creed Shadows does well, and it will be some of assets for the entire company. There was a story this week where they're basically working with Tencent to try to spin off some of their assets into a different company entirely. And I don't know if that's going to, because their stock was down like in the $2 range or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if that will here's the good stuff we have, the stock is way higher, so we can sell for much more than we were going to otherwise. So it's all kind of gross. But yeah, Ubisoft, I don't think they're going to make it out this year without being sold in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which brings it back to you.
Yeah. I put here, Sony announces, and this is in quotes because they call it whatever the hell they want, PSP 2.
Yes. I like this. Is it going to be, it's not stream, obviously the Portal's streaming, so they're going to announce
that's not an actual handheld that has hardware inside and everything.
I love my Steam Deck, love my Switch. If PlayStation announces a PSP 2 or a Vita 2, I'm fucking buying that thing. That's great news. That'd be so good. I hope you're right, man. How confident do you feel about that one?
40-60 against, but pretty close. I do think that. Well, how would I say this? Actually, I would say it is possible. Not the most likely, though, completely. But if Microsoft's trying to jump in the ring with a handheld, I don't think Sony's going to
stay out.
And they have kind of a brand already associated with it, so it's maybe a little easier for them to push in. Now, power-wise, I don't know what it would be. Maybe they probably try to make it a little bit more powerful than a Switch 2, I would say.
That's what I would think, too.
Not much more, but a little bit more.
They'll use their pisser technology.
Exactly. Pisser.
Great name, guys. Real good. Good work. Good work. All right, here's another one. The next 3D Mario, which for my fantasy critic's sake, I hope is this year. Next 3D Mario is not Mario Odyssey. It is a platformer with Mario and Donkey Kong. And it is a collaboration between, I forget which studio of Nintendo that does 3EPD or 3PD, I forget. And Retro. So it'll be some sort of collaboration with Retro on that.
Okay.
So I made that one quite specific. Had a lot of ands in there. Mario and Donkey Kong collaboration with Retro, and it's not Odyssey 2.
Okay.
So there you go.
My next one is a specific game releasing. Square Enix releases Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster.
Oh damn!
I still believe it's happening.
Ooh.
I believe in my soul.
I am playing that one this year.
I want this to be true because I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to play it?
I'm playing it this year. I was going to play it on my Amber. But if they're going to do a remaster, I might wait a couple months and see.
Yeah.
But I do want to play it this year. That's one of the Final Fantasies I want to get through this year.
Does it play PSP?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And well?
I mean, I've just dabbled for 5 minutes here or there, but yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I would play War of the Lions. Do not play the PS1 version of Tactics.
Yeah. Right. That's the one that I have, so.
Yeah. Quite the quality bar difference on localization
good
there. And additional content. Like, it's night and day. War of the Lions is the one to play.
Okay. That's a good tip. But yeah, I definitely want to get into that one this year. Continue my Final Fantasy. Oh man. Just as an aside, you already know this, but went over to my neighbor's house to play Magic the Gathering with them, my daughter and I. And we're playing, we had our Assassin's Creed deck. One of the neighbors had Dungeons and Dragons deck from 2022, which was freaking rad. And the other one had like a kitty cat deck. It was like kitty cat themed, which was very cool for my daughter. But I was like, oh yeah, we're, hopefully, waiting for Final Fantasy to come out this year. We're going to spend a lot of money on that. He just looked at me like the most serious look ever. He's like, I'm going to spend so much money on that. I was like, oh, cool. I know you're into Magic. I didn't know you're into Final Fantasy. And he pulls up his sleeve. I was like, holy fuck. That is a massive Final Fantasy tattoo. His favorite is 9, followed by 10.
Okay.
9's the first one he ever played and just loves it.
That makes sense. I was going to ask, what's his age?
I don't know, but his first one was 9. So
9 and 10. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense, though.
Yep.
I was like, usually the first ones you play tend to stay your favorites.
Yeah, 15's not my favorite.
That's true. That's true. Then that was a nice little aside there.
7 Remake is mine.
But anyway, that's the first real one you've played. Let's be honest. I don't
know. After 15, really. Yeah, it really is. I think so.
You did 16. Oh no, you did.
No, I didn't. No, you
did Remake. Yeah.
Okay. I played probably 2/3 of 16 and then went to Remake and then came back and finished 16.
There you go. All right.
And I like 7 Remake way more than I like 16. So
yeah.
Which isn't quite fair because it's a remake, but is it your turn?
No, because we just talked about Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah, duh. Okay, next one. Last time I'll mention this word: Silksong. Silksong will be the best reviewed game of the year. It'll have the highest Metacritic score, basically.
Okay.
Silksong. Put all my eggs in that basket this year, apparently. Last year was the Switch 2. This year it's the Silksong.
Okay.
And you've got one more. I got one more.
Yep. Yeah, I got one more. Microsoft is drastically going to change Game Pass.
Again.
To try to make it profitable.
Good luck, Microsoft.
But I don't think it's surviving this year in even the state that it is in now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's just losing too much money. And they have it didn't spike how they wanted it to spike or they believed it would. And it's stagnating basically as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and I read a report. It was like 80% of what was it? 80% of gamers don't buy Game Pass. Folks don't buy like a full game or whatever it was. So they're not getting the sales on top of Game Pass. It's just a bad business model, man. Just terrible.
It's not great. Subscription-based stuff for games is real hard to make actually good. I could say all of them are going to have problems. Like I think Apple Arcade is probably going to have problems too. It's not making money. They spend a lot of money just trying to put little games there. Netflix is probably going to can their game division, in my opinion. But that's not part of my prediction. But I mean, I think it's going to be a bad year around for all those kind of services.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it was survive till 25, and now we're like, just wait till GTA 6 comes out so we can get our games out there.
There's always something else. There's always something, exactly. I don't feel like this is going to be a rebound like some people are thinking it's going to be. The survive to 25 thing was, to me, felt another contingent of that was that interest rates would be a lot lower. Exactly. That was the main thing. Yeah. Yeah. VCs aren't going to come and invest in games really right now until it's theoretically more profitable than just being in a high yield savings.
Right.
Or very secure, like, I know I will get my return on investment here.
Right.
But interest rates haven't come down yet. Who knows what will happen in the next few months? But
I know one thing: eggs will not get cheaper. That's all I know.
no, a lot of things won't get cheaper. A lot of things are going to get more expensive.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my final prediction. There is the subscription stuff. And we were talking about yours, weren't we? I'm lost now.
About predictions?
Yeah.
I got one more. Yeah.
Oh, you have one more? All right.
I got one more. It's the one I'm going to say it. It's the one we say all the time. I was grasping for a final prediction, and my daughter was like, "What about this?" And my wife just started laughing. He's like, "He says that every fucking year." But here we go, baby. Wind Waker. Wind Waker will release. Wind Waker will release for Switch and Switch 2. I'm going to make it a little more specific. It will release for Switch and Switch 2. You can get it for Switch without the 4K. You can get it for Switch 2, and it'll be 4K.
Okay.
So I think that's what's going on, maybe. So, and that may be, on the Switch 2, it may be like native 4K, or maybe like the upscaling to 4K.
Sure.
Or whatever.
I understand that.
But that'll be the differentiation. So, this is the year. This is the year.
Oh, jeez.
How many years? I mean, if you go through our podcast, like there was a chunk of years where it was like Mass Effect remastered. That's all we wanted. And then since then, it's been like, put fucking Wind Waker on Switch, you cowards. So.
And Nintendo says no.
No, they do. They continue. We're going to get to the end of the year, and I'll be listening to this in 2024 or 2026, and be like, you fucking moron, you did it again. So to make my life easier in 2026, let's each read our 10. So let's just listen to that section instead of the whole podcast. I'm going to go through my 10, and then you can read yours. Okay. Epic Games capitulates to Trump in a major and obvious way because of its investor profile. 2, Silksong is a Switch 2 launch title, and that is publicly stated as the reason why we didn't see it until that point. Releasing. Number 3, this year we hear what Ember Labs' next game is, and it is not a sequel to Kena Bridge of Spirits. Number 4, Elon Musk will be considered as a participant in the 2025 TGAs. It will seem likely that he will participate for at least 4 consecutive weeks. Ultimately, he will not. Number 5, Switch 2 is significantly easier to get at launch than the PS5 was, and what that means is both Anthony and I can walk into our local Target and find one. Number 6, Assassin's Creed Shadows will earn the highest Metacritic score of any mainline title in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and that means a 91 plus. Next, number 7, Ubisoft will announce a sale soon after of some assets or their entire company. Number 8, the next 3D Mario is not Mario Odyssey 2, and it is a platformer with Mario and Donkey Kong, and it is a collaboration with Retro. Number 9, Silksong will be the best reviewed game of the year. And number 10, Wind Waker will release for Switch and Switch 2, with the differentiating factor being on Switch 2, you get it with 4K. Those are my 10.
All right. So my 10, Microsoft tries out a full-on AI game, powered, generated, and uses that as a leading marketing for it. We will continue to get more live services game. The trend is not over as much as we want it to be. A new Half-Life game is released in 2025 by Valve. 4, Disney purchases a big game publisher to rebuild their game division. 5, Bethesda finally reveals an Oblivion remaster. To be specific, I'll just say Oblivion. To get an Elder Scroll, something for Elder Scrolls out, because it will be years before we see the next one. 6, GTA 6 MSRP will be more than $70. There will be no Valve Index refresh happening this year, or a new new VR hardware from Valve. 8, Sony announces a in quotes PSP2. They can call it whatever they want, but an actual portable handheld game system, not just a streaming thing like the Portal. Mm-hmm. 9, Square Enix releases Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster. that's my crossing fingers. That is a Switch 2 thing. And 10 MS Game Pass drastically changes to try to make a profit.
Yep. Those are all very good predictions. We will see who does better. The winner will be receiving a $20 video game, up to $20 video game, by the other person, purchased by the other person. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. That was fun. Why don't we close up by talking about what we've been playing?
I'll start. You've been playing a lot more of this game, but I played a little bit of Granblue Fantasy. Relink.
Oh, nice.
Like got to the first town, played through there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's my TV or whatnot, but that game is gorgeous.
It's like, really nice looking.
There's some shots I'm like, this just looks like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy cow. Yeah, I got it for Christmas, and I'm like, I should just be playing some of this game when my TV is not in use, basically. Right. It's being used pretty heavily right now by kids and my wife for things. So I played probably just over an hour of it, and I was like, okay, got to continue to play this. Having fun. I thought it was going to be the demo. The beginning was just going to be what I played in the demo. It's not.
Oh, interesting.
The demo was completely separate and different.
What was like a later section of the game, maybe? Or?
I don't even know. It's like fighting goblins in the demo.
Oh, huh.
Maybe it's later. I don't know.
Well, you definitely fight goblins later,
So that's probably where it was. It's just a later part of the game that they just was like, we'll just use this as the demo. But I'm enjoying that. Not a huge amount for me to say on it. And then I can't believe I'm saying, I think I found a build in Path of Exile 2 that I'm enjoying.
Oh, finally.
Took for freaking ever. They patched. Yeah. They did a big patch this week. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try the monk again. I'm going to try a very specific ice kind of strike build. And I'm actually kind of tearing through the game. I don't think it's a broken build. I'm just like, I think you just need to have a build that can output this much DPS to be successful in this game. So your builds are bad very quickly.
And are you at endgame, or are you not there yet?
I'm in Act 3 now, which is the final act for this current. I should get to endgame soon, because I'm not feeling the insane amount of work I had to do to actually like kill things now. It's still slower than a Diablo 4.
Yeah. But
I'm actually like, I can actually kill mobs now at a reasonable pace. I can like chunk down bosses pretty fast now. If I still have to stay on it and be like, do my dodge rolls and pay attention to mechanics, but it doesn't feel like they're just giant damage sponges anymore. Which maybe the patch changed some of that. I haven't looked through all the detailed notes, but I'm like, this is what the game should feel like. I still think it's really stingy with its rewards.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
The devs have said that they're not changing that now. Like they'll do it. I mean, this is the beta. They're going to continue to work through this. And they said that they'll do economy changes and rebalancing at season changeovers, league changeovers. So in a few months, they'll do a complete. When everyone's gear and everything's wiped out and they have a new league, they'll have a new economy put in, tuned, which is the right way to go. It's harder to tune it in flight on that side of things. So, but they're like, we've heard your feedback. We will be changing things. So I think that's one of those things is like that game's at least a year away from a 1.0 release, if not further.
Yeah. And
it will constantly evolve. I mean, Path of Exile did over time. I hated it when it first came out.
Well, and eventually you played it all the damn time.
All the time. Like, they continue to make it better. And that's what I'm hoping now is they'll just continue to make it better. And mostly in like my disappointment is just like you have so much data from Path of Exile. It's unfortunate you're learning the same lessons again.
Right.
And some of this, I'm like, you should have known that things should have been a little bit different. But, growing pains, I guess, because it's a different creative director and everything on this one. So I don't know, but overall, I just finally finding a build that feels good. I'm like, there it is. There's the action RPG I wanted. Still kind of prefer for just mindlessly killing things and things being polished and everything, Diablo 4 still beats it. But and they have a new league coming out this week, so that should be fun.
Are they have any updates as well, or is it just the league?
Season of the Witch. Okay. And it does have, I mean, they always have new story quests.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. There's like no new classes or anything, but it's, I watched through the info on the D4 Season of the Witch, and one of the things is there's new powers. Any class can slot these powers in, and it effectively, you can kind of get Witch Doctor from Diablo 3 stuff going.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
a weird way. Yeah, so it's very, very inspired by like that type of thing. So we'll see. I think full patch notes for it drop this week, or maybe they're already out. But those are the two things I've been playing. My goal on Path of Exile 2 is to actually just get through the acts and just get to the end game to see what this new mapping system is like, because it looks really deep. So, but it takes a while to get there. Another lesson they have not learned from the first game. Because I think you still have to, anytime you have a new character, you still have to play through the entire story again.
Yeah.
That was always the thing people complain about in Path of Exile. They're like, why? Just let me play the end game. Like, I've got a character at the end game. Just let me create a character there. Which is very different than like Diablo 3, where you could say, I just want to play a character and I don't want to deal with the story. I'm just going to play rifts and bounties to level my character. And then Diablo 4 just lets you skip the story completely.
Right.
I'm like, come on, just let us skip the story. I don't care about your story. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, have I played anything else? I played some Dredge.
Oh, yeah.
I was continuing to play that as well. Highly recommend it. I think it might go on a little bit too long, like not enough variation over time. But if you like inventory Tetris as the main mechanic of a game and some like cosmic horror filtering its way into your fishing game, this is the game for you. It's neat though. Also plays well on Steam Deck. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good place to play it.
But that's it for me.
Let's see. For me, I'll start with Legend of Zelda. I think it was this week. I finished it. I beat the game.
Nice.
Yeah, the original Legend of Zelda. I had a save. I was like, I played this thing like a couple years ago. I'll finish that save. I'll figure out what I want to play. Today, I asked you and Travis, and like, okay, Legend of Zelda, the original. Let's do it. I'm halfway through. Was not halfway through, dear audience. Thought I was. Definitely was not. So I loaded up and I'm like, oh, fuck, this saves from 2018. Holy shit. It's been way longer than I thought. That's 7 years ago, pretty much. Like, wow, how the fuck is that possible? So loaded up and realized that I didn't know what I was doing a long time ago. So I would just like bounce from like, I don't know, dungeon to dungeon, get stuck, leave. Turns out some of those dungeons have like a secret room where you get like a secret item that you kind of need. So I had to go back to a previous dungeon and get the raft or the ladder or whatever. And the thing that was interesting to me is I always hear about Legend of Zelda as like open world-ish. You can go wherever you want in any order, but you kind of can't because some of those dungeons, you really need an item from earlier. Yes. And if you don't have it, you cannot complete the dungeon. So that's,
I think the open world aspect that people talk about, it's not open world and like you can beat the dungeons. It's open world and as you can just go wherever you want to go. Yeah, like you can just wander the map and find things.
Yeah, because when I opened it up, yeah, right. Because when I opened it up, I was in Dungeon 6, and I couldn't beat it because I didn't have like the raft or whatever to go across the gaps or the ladder or whatever. But I got the magic wand, which became like my main distance weapon for a long time, going back through the earlier dungeons. So I went back and kind of worked my way back through the earlier dungeons to either get the secret item that I had missed or just to kind of complete the dungeons. So started filling out the dungeons and getting to Ganon. And I felt like Ganon was super easy. Ganon's like invisible. You just have to hit him where he is. And as soon as you hit him like 3 times, he becomes visible and you hit him with I forget what weapon it was. at the end
I
there.
can't remember at this point anymore.
It's not a light arrow, but it's something like that. And then that's what defeats him, and he's dead. I was like, wow, that was easy. But I'm glad to have completed that game. That game had a lot of stuff going on for it back then. Some obtuse shit. Like I had to use a guide a couple times to figure out where I was, what I was supposed to be doing, what's hidden where. But I super enjoyed it. I'm so glad that I can say that I've completed the Legend of Zelda now, which is great. So I played that, and as you mentioned, I've been playing a bit of Granblue Fantasy Relink. I've been playing a bit of, or quite a bit of Final Fantasy VII, and I'm trying to pace myself with that game so that I beat it closer to when the new one comes out. So I'm trying not to like rush through it now. So I put it down and picked up, I wanted like a 3D RPG, like with a bunch of characters. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I think this is it. I'm going to try this one. And man, it is really fun. I love that you have just a ton of characters with you who are talking all the time. The story in between is pretty interesting. Although the town you got to, that when I hit that town, I was like, oh, the pacing slowed down significantly here. It's trying to show me like where the quests are and what, how to progress certain things. But then I went back into the field, and I really like how each chapter, I think there are like 9 chapters or so. And then after the final chapter, it becomes chapter 0, which is like end game, where that's when like the Monster Hunter-ish kind of stuff begins. So then some people, that's when the game really begins. Mm-hmm. But that'll be after credits roll, so I'm not going to be worried about that. But each chapter so far has been very different. The story has made some major leaps, which I wasn't expecting. And then the things you do, like, you're fighting, but the way that the level design is different and engaging enough to be like, oh, this is different than last time. It's not just doing the same thing over and over again. I kind of like that. From all accounts, it's a short experience. It's probably around 12 hours or so. Maybe it's longer, but I'm really enjoying how good it looks, how fun it plays. I'm enjoying the banter between the characters, and then the story beats. There's some, I'm in chapter 4 now, and there's some stuff that happens. It's like, oh, this is not just a happy, we're all friends, let's go adventuring together thing, and not much depth. There's actually some depth to this thing. So I'm quite enjoying that. And then I've played for the RPG backlog. We're playing through Final Fantasy 2, and I've played through the first 3 sections of Final Fantasy 2. Have you played that one?
Nope.
You've heard about it though, right?
Yep.
The leveling system is interesting. It's that
interesting is not the word that I've heard it said by.
I kind of like it. It's use-based, so, and it's a bit fucking random. Whereas for your HP to go up, you have to lose HP. For your MP to go up, you have to use MP. For your dodge to go, or evasion to go up, you have to like dodge or defend. So you really have to use different stats in order for your stats to grow. But then it grows randomly, and I swear to God, you have 3 main party members, then you pick up a 4th as just a guest party member throughout, and that person's significantly over leveled. So you have access to like a lot of really cool magic spells really early on. So I think it's a really neat aspect of that. But on the flip side, that person is partaking in the random attribute increases, and so far that person seems to be getting a lot of them. And then that person's gone in an hour, and I'm trying to like gain levels here and whatever. But I'm enjoying it. I liked Final Fantasy 1 a lot. It was basically how do we do D&D in a video game? This is quite different, and I'm surprised how different it is, although I shouldn't be, because NES games like Mario 2 is different than Mario 1, Zelda 2 is different than Zelda 1, blah blah blah. But it is super enjoyable so far. I'm really, really liking it. And then other than that, my daughter and I have finally got back into Echoes of Wisdom. We put another 4 or 5 hours in. No, that's not true. 3 or 4 hours in. We are past the Hyrule Castle. We've taken off the disguise. We are now Cat Zelda prowling around, and we're over in Faron Wetlands over in the very southern corner, working through the still world of I forget his name, Blossus's house or whatever, to get the membership card to go into the sweet spot. That's what we're working on right now. Oh, fuck, you haven't played this game. I'm talking to you like you fucking know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
I mean, I saw a speedrun of it. So there you go.
Well, you didn't see that. I saw that same speedrun.
They skipped a bunch.
Yep. I sent it to my colleague's husband. We were talking about video games, so I sent him the link to that speed run, and he watched it. He's like, "Wow!" And I was like, "Yeah, my daughter and I get back into this game." He's like, "Well, that's great. You can beat it in 46 minutes." I was like, "No, that's not. No, I can't. That's not how this works. That's someone who's been practiced a lot." But yeah, so that's about it. A lot of RPGs, in fact, exclusively RPGs.
Wow. Who are you? What have you become?
Dude, you know what's so interesting? Like, I'm starting to, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I mentioned previously how I'm not buying new games, and I'm going through my backlog. I'm playing like an hour here, hour there of different games. So I didn't mention one of those I played was Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was really, really good. But as I'm playing through my backlog, I commit to an hour for each game. I'm like, a lot of these are not hitting. It's starting to make me realize trying to keep up and buy a bunch of games people are talking about, like, those games are not necessarily for me. Like, I'm not enjoying these games. Why did I spend money on this game? So it's making me realize who I am as a gamer, and what I enjoy is like a narrow band of games. Like, I like platformers, I like RPGs. For the most part, I dabble in sports a little bit. Third person action like God of War or Assassin's Creed, I like those as well. But the other games I don't like as much. So it's helping me realize what I do like, and what I gravitate towards is, going to help me purchase games that I'm going to finish.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, liking it so far. It's been 19 days so far. I haven't gone 19 days without buying a video game in like a decade. Like, I bought a lot of games, and they weren't full price games. It was like, it's games on sale on Steam for $3 or whatever. But
yeah, you're like, this is a good deal. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I have purchased nothing. That's weird.
The reason not to pick it up is because your backlog is hundreds of games. And
exactly. I have 1,000 games just on Steam.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's just Steam. That doesn't count my, 1,000 games on PlayStation across PlayStation platforms. Fucking Nintendo, it's just like, dude, I don't need to buy new games.
Yeah. I'm being a lot pickier, even if I feel FOMO sometimes. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Like with Dynasty Warriors coming out, there's there's people that going like, oh, this is so much fun, so cool. I'm like, it looks cool. I'm not buying it.
Yep. I'm going to check it out on YouTube. I'm going to be one of those people. Like, oh, I'm going to check that out. Maybe I'll put it on the list for later, but no, this is the year where I'm really trying not to. I mean, part of it is the backlog. Part of it is just like the consumerism for no point. Like, I'm not going to play it. Why am I giving? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel differently about that with indie games. I will probably spend a bulk of my money this year on Nintendo or indie because I don't think indie devs can afford someone to wait for 5 years to pick up their game or whatever. So
no, not really. Yeah. If there's an indie game, anyone listening that you're like, no, that looks interesting or something really I would like to try, just pick it up. Even not on sale. They're typically not that much money, and it really goes a long way.
Exactly. So I want to make sure that I'm supporting my hobby, although I've supported this hobby for the last decade.
Exactly. You're supporting
quite a bit more than most people.
You don't need to feel guilty about this. You're fine.
Yeah. So, anything else for the good of the podcast, Anthony?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Thanks for tuning into this podcast. Again, we've got another one coming in a couple days, so looking forward to that. Please stay safe and do what you can to guard your mental health, and do what you can to help others in the coming weeks, months, and years. We will be back next week to talk about, I think, the Microsoft Developer Direct.
I think it's this week. Some point.
The 23rd, I think it is. So we'll come back next week to talk about that. Please rate us on your podcast service of choice, tell your friends, and we